A message for you that cannot wait. Pay close attention. Beloved, this message arrives because you have reached a threshold of awareness. Something within you is stirring, something that has long been waiting for acknowledgement. You cannot ignore this subtle tug without consequence, for it carries the guidance you have been silently seeking. You may notice that certain patterns in your life have repeated: relationships, situations, opportunities. These repetitions are not random. They are markers, messages from your inner guidance, showing you where alignment has been missed or ignored. Beloved, pay attention to what feels heavy and what feels light. Energy does not lie. You are being guided to trust what is quiet rather than what is loud. The dramatic, urgent, and attention-grabbing is not always aligned. True alignment whispers, it does not shout. This is why you may have felt unsettled by moments that seemed insignificant. They were the subtle signs, asking you to recalibrate. Beloved, another message present now concerns self-honesty. You are encouraged to observe your own motives, desires, and intentions without judgment. Awareness without criticism allows clarity to emerge naturally. When you know yourself fully, decisions become easier, actions become cleaner, and energy flows efficiently. You may feel drawn to simplify your surroundings, your schedule, and even your relationships. This is not deprivation. It is refinement. When unnecessary complexity is released, your focus, clarity, and resonance with purpose increase. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes presence in every moment. Do not wait for a perfect circumstance or a right time. Every moment contains the opportunity to act aligned with your higher self. Attention, when sustained, becomes action, and action rooted in awareness becomes influence. You are also being reminded to honor your intuition. It communicates subtly. Through a feeling in the body, a sudden insight, a gentle nudge. You do not need to overanalyze it. You do not need to explain it to anyone. Trust it. Act on it. It is your internal compass calibrated perfectly for your life. Beloved, another important message is about emotional responsibility. You are learning to observe your feelings without being consumed by them. Allow them to inform, but do not allow them to dictate in ways that misalign with your center. Emotional clarity is as crucial as intellectual or physical clarity. You may notice that external validation feels less necessary now. Praise, recognition, or approval is optional. Your center no longer depends on others to confirm your alignment. You are learning to validate yourself fully and without hesitation. Beloved, guidance at this stage encourages selective engagement. Energy is precious, and your attention is sacred. What does not serve clarity, growth, or truth should not be allowed to drain your presence. Learn to say no without guilt, to disengage without fear, and to focus without distraction. Another message here involves patience with timing. You may feel eager for outcomes, for progress, or for resolution. Yet, alignment cannot be rushed. Timing is orchestrated by your higher awareness, not by external urgency. Trust in the natural unfolding of events. Beloved, this guidance is subtle but firm. It will repeat, gently, until integrated. What is ignored will continue to return until attention is given. What is embraced will quiet itself as part of your lived experience. Remain attentive to the quiet signals of alignment. Remain honest about what no longer serves you. Remain patient as clarity unfolds gradually. This message does not require dramatic action. It requires presence, consistency, and the willingness to honor your own truth. Beloved, as you integrate this guidance, life begins to mirror your inner coherence. Patterns resolve, decisions become clear, and energy flows without obstruction. Every step forward resonates with purpose, subtlety, and alignment. And from this place, beloved, you move not by force or fear, but by the steady, unshakable authority of your own aligned awareness. Beloved, as this message continues, you are being guided to notice the subtle shifts within your daily experience. Life may appear the same on the surface, but beneath it, your awareness is recalibrating. You are seeing patterns more clearly, sensing misalignment sooner, and responding with greater ease. You may notice that some obligations or commitments no longer feel necessary. This is not laziness or avoidance. It is discernment. You are being guided to preserve your energy for what truly resonates with your purpose and clarity. What drains you is a signal, not a failure. Beloved, another message present now concerns self-trust. You no longer need to rely on constant confirmation from others. Your own inner knowing is sufficient. This trust allows you to act decisively without hesitation, even when the external world feels uncertain or chaotic. You may feel a growing preference for simplicity in thought, action, and environment. This is alignment asking you to release excess and embrace clarity. When you simplify, energy returns. When you declutter, focus strengthens. Beloved, guidance at this stage emphasizes observation without judgment. Notice recurring patterns, feelings, and reactions without immediately labeling them as good or bad. Awareness itself is the first step toward realignment and empowerment. You are also being reminded to respect your internal rhythm. Rest, reflection, and pause are not signs of weakness. They are acts of wisdom. Integration requires time. Allow yourself to pause and let insights settle before acting. Beloved, another message here involves discernment in relationships. Some connections will naturally deepen, while others will loosen without conflict. You are learning to prioritize those that support mutual growth and coherence, while releasing those that no longer resonate. You may notice that your communication has become more intentional. Words carry weight. Silence carries authority. You no longer feel compelled to justify or explain your alignment to those who cannot perceive it. Truth sustains itself when expressed consciously. Beloved, archangelic guidance at this level works through subtle signs. Synchronicities, intuitive nudges, repeated numbers, and fleeting thoughts are confirmations that your path is coherent. These signals are quiet but reliable. Pay attention to them. You are also being guided to integrate alignment into the ordinary moments of life. Daily choices, simple actions, and routine interactions are the vehicles through which clarity manifests. Presence in the mundane is as powerful as insight in extraordinary moments. Beloved, remain attentive to what feels steady rather than urgent. Remain honest when recalibration is needed. Remain patient with gradual unfolding. This message is not about immediate transformation. It is about anchoring alignment within your being. And from this grounded place, beloved, life begins to mirror your inner coherence. Patterns resolve, choices clarify, and energy flows naturally. Guidance becomes an internal compass, steady and true, moving with you quietly yet powerfully. Beloved, you are being guided to recognize the depth of your own awareness. You are no longer moving through life as if guided solely by circumstance or opinion. You are sensing alignment internally, and this inner compass is becoming more precise with each passing day. You may notice that your reactions are quieter. Situations that once stirred panic, doubt, or urgency now feel like signals, indicators that call for observation rather than immediate response. This subtle shift marks the growth of wisdom within you. Beloved, another message present now concerns emotional discernment. You are learning to feel fully without becoming entangled in the intensity of emotion. Emotions now inform you rather than drive you, allowing clear and steady action. This containment is not suppression, it is mastery. You may sense a growing clarity regarding your energy. You are no longer willing to expend it on what drains you or misaligns with your purpose. Where once you may have engaged out of habit, fear, or obligation, now you invest only in resonance, coherence, and truth. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes the power of intention. Your choices, words, and actions gain potency when intention is clear. Every act, however small, carries energy. Alignment amplifies the effect of each step. You are also being reminded to trust timing. Some outcomes cannot be rushed, no matter how eager you are. Allowing things to unfold naturally prevents wasted effort and preserves clarity. Timing aligns with your inner awareness, not with external pressure. Beloved, another message concerns the refinement of relationships. Connections that resonate with your truth deepen naturally. Those that do not may loosen without conflict or judgment. This is not detachment. It is the natural flow of energy, honoring both yourself and others. You may notice that your communication has become more deliberate. Words are chosen with intention. Silence carries meaning. You no longer feel compelled to defend, explain, or justify your alignment to those who cannot perceive it. Truth expressed from presence sustains itself. Beloved, archangelic guidance now works subtly through repeated signs, intuitive nudges, and small synchronicities. These confirmations are gentle reminders that your path is coherent, even when the external landscape feels uncertain. Pay attention, they are your compass. You are also being guided to embody alignment in daily life, not just in extraordinary moments. Presence in routine activities, mindful speech, and consistent habits is where true mastery of awareness manifests. Ordinary life becomes sacred through conscious engagement. Beloved, do not rush this integration. Alignment is not instantaneous. It grows steadily as awareness, patience, and presence deepen. Remain attentive to subtle signals. Remain honest when recalibration is required. Remain patient as clarity emerges gradually. This message is not about dramatic change or immediate results. It is about sustaining clarity and coherence from within. Beloved, as you continue from this place, life mirrors the steadiness you cultivate internally. Energy flows freely, decisions become more precise, and guidance is no longer something external. It moves with you quietly, powerfully, and accurately, moment by moment. Beloved, as this message unfolds into Part 4, you are being guided to recognize the power of presence over reaction. You are no longer defined by the turbulence around you. Instead, you anchor yourself in awareness, allowing life to move through you while you remain steady. You may notice that your capacity to observe has deepened. Situations that once caused anxiety or urgency now register as information, signals to act, adjust, or release. This observation is not passive. It is mastery in motion. Beloved, another message present now concerns discernment in action. You are learning to act from alignment rather than impulse. Effort is applied only where it produces clarity, resonance, or progress. Force and struggle no longer feel necessary. They are replaced by precision. You may feel a growing understanding of cycles, both internal and external. Energy rises and falls. Clarity waxes and wanes. Recognizing rhythm allows you to move with it rather than against it. Timing becomes natural rather than forced. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes self-honesty. You are encouraged to acknowledge misalignment without judgment. Awareness alone is corrective. When you name what feels off, adjustment happens effortlessly. Self-criticism is no longer required. You are also being reminded to honor rest as an act of integration. Pausing is not idleness. It allows insights to settle, decisions to align, and energy to replenish. This rhythm of action and pause preserves clarity and sustains purpose. Beloved, another message here involves relational alignment. People and situations that resonate with your truth deepen naturally. Those that do not begin to loosen organically. This is not rejection, it is energetic equilibrium. Respecting resonance prevents unnecessary friction. You may notice that communication has become intentional. Words carry clarity, silence carries authority. You no longer feel compelled to explain your presence or your choices. Truth expressed with presence sustains itself without justification. Beloved, archangelic guidance at this stage manifests subtly through repeated signs, intuitive nudges, and synchronistic moments. These confirmations are quiet but reliable, indicating that your path is coherent even when outcomes remain unseen. You are being guided to integrate alignment into ordinary life. Small, deliberate actions, mindful attention to routine, and conscious engagement in simple moments strengthen coherence more than grand gestures ever could. Presence is mastery in the mundane. Beloved, remain attentive to what feels steady rather than urgent. Remain honest when realignment is required. Remain patient as awareness deepens gradually. This message does not demand dramatic transformation. It supports sustained coherence. Beloved, as you live from this grounded space, your life mirrors the clarity within. Patterns simplify, energy flows freely, and guidance becomes seamless, no longer external, but a quiet, constant force that moves with you moment by moment. Beloved, you are being guided now to recognize the subtle power of alignment in every choice you make. Life no longer demands extremes or drama. Every step, every breath, every thought carries weight when it is rooted in presence and awareness. You may notice that indecision feels lighter now. Where hesitation once caused tension, you now sense whether action serves clarity or whether pause is the wiser path. Trust in this internal compass. It has been honed through experience and quiet observation. Beloved, another message present now concerns the cultivation of patience. Not the kind that waits passively, but the kind that allows insight and understanding to emerge naturally. Rushing clarity only distorts it. When you move in rhythm with your internal awareness, timing becomes effortless. You are also being reminded that boundaries are sacred, not restrictive. Saying no, pausing, or redirecting energy away from what misaligns is not selfish. It is necessary for maintaining coherence. Energy is precious, and it flows best when respected. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes emotional presence without entanglement. You feel fully, yet you do not absorb the turbulence of others. Compassion does not require surrendering your center. Standing in your clarity allows support without depletion. You may notice that external validation no longer holds the power it once did. Recognition, praise, or approval are optional. Your own awareness and self-trust are sufficient. This internal affirmation strengthens your resolve and protects your alignment. Beloved, another message here is about intentional communication. Words are fewer but carry more weight. Silence carries authority. You do not need to justify, explain, or defend your choices. Truth expressed through presence sustains itself. You are also being guided to honor cycles of integration. Reflection, pause, and observation are as important as action. Integration ensures that insights are not lost, energy is preserved, and alignment remains intact. Beloved, subtle signs now carry greater meaning. Repeated numbers, fleeting thoughts, and intuitive nudges are confirmations of alignment. Pay attention, they are not coincidences. They are the language of your higher awareness guiding you gently forward. Remain attentive to what resonates deeply. Remain honest when something needs recalibration. Remain patient as clarity unfolds gradually. This message does not call for dramatic shifts. It calls for steady presence, intentional action, and mindful awareness. Beloved, as you continue from this place, your life becomes a reflection of your inner coherence. Energy flows naturally, decisions gain precision, and guidance is no longer something external. It moves with you quietly, subtly, and perfectly aligned, moment by moment. Beloved, you are being guided now to recognize the quiet authority you carry within. Alignment is no longer something you chase. It is something you embody. Each action, each thought, each pause now reflects the coherence you have cultivated through awareness and intention. You may notice that the sense of urgency has softened. Where once impatience or pressure drove you, now observation and discernment guide your pace. This does not slow your progress. It ensures that every step is accurate, meaningful, and aligned. Beloved, another message present now concerns trust in your own rhythm. You are learning that life unfolds in phases. Some insights, opportunities, and realizations arrive immediately, while others require patience. Trusting the timing of each stage preserves energy and maintains clarity. You are also being guided to honor your boundaries with gentleness and firmness. Saying no is not rejection. It is protection of your focus and alignment. Your energy is a sacred resource. Guard it carefully, beloved, and invest it only where it resonates fully. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes the power of observation over reaction. Notice patterns, signals, and feelings without judgment. Awareness itself is corrective. When you recognize misalignment, adjustment flows naturally without struggle or force. You may feel that your communication has become refined. Words are chosen deliberately, and silence carries intention. You no longer feel compelled to defend your choices or explain your alignment to those who cannot perceive it. Truth expresses itself through presence alone. Beloved, another message here involves discernment in relationships. Connections that align with your growth deepen naturally. Those that drain energy or create friction gradually release without conflict. This is not avoidance. It is energetic wisdom. You are also being guided to integrate alignment into daily routines. Small, consistent actions, mindful speech, intentional movement, and conscious attention anchor clarity in ordinary life. Mastery is reflected in these subtle, everyday moments. Beloved, subtle signs and synchronistic moments continue to guide you. Pay attention to repeated numbers, fleeting thoughts, and gentle nudges. They confirm your alignment and provide reassurance that your path is coherent, even when the external landscape feels uncertain. Remain attentive to what maintains your steadiness. Remain honest when subtle misalignments appear. Remain patient as clarity deepens with time. This message does not demand dramatic action or forceful change. It encourages integration, presence, and deliberate movement. Beloved, as you move forward from this place, life mirrors the alignment you carry within. Energy flows effortlessly, choices become precise, and guidance is experienced not as an external voice, but as a constant, reliable presence moving with you, quietly, powerfully, and perfectly aligned. Beloved, you are being guided now to step fully into the stability that comes from inner alignment. This is a phase where life no longer feels like a series of battles or emergencies. Instead, each moment offers you the opportunity to act from clarity, calm, and presence. You may notice that your sensitivity to energy has increased. Subtle shifts in your environment, emotions, and relationships are more apparent, and you are able to respond without being overwhelmed. This awareness is your internal compass, guiding your choices with precision. Beloved, another message present now concerns trust in yourself. You no longer need constant reassurance from others or external validation. Your own knowing is sufficient. This self-trust allows you to act decisively, even when outcomes are uncertain or unseen. You are also being guided to respect cycles of pause and reflection. Moments of stillness are not wasted. They integrate insight, restore energy, and prepare you for action. Pausing is an act of wisdom, not delay. Beloved, guidance emphasizes the refinement of intention. Every action, thought, and word carries weight. Alignment is strengthened when your motives are clear and unclouded. Energy flows effortlessly when intention is precise. You may notice that relationships shift naturally. Those that resonate with your growth deepen, while those that do not release without conflict or resistance. This is the natural law of energetic resonance at work. Beloved, another message here involves subtle communication. Words are fewer but carry clarity. Silence communicates as much as speech. You no longer need to justify or defend yourself. Truth spoken from presence sustains itself. You are also being guided to observe synchronicities and small signs. Repeated numbers, fleeting thoughts, or sudden insights are confirmations that your alignment is intact. These signals are gentle reminders that your path is coherent, even when it is not visible externally. Beloved, pay attention to how clarity manifests in the ordinary moments of life. Daily habits, conscious attention, and mindful action are where alignment is lived, not just contemplated. Presence in the mundane is a reflection of mastery. Remain attentive to what preserves your steadiness. Remain honest when recalibration is required. Remain patient as understanding unfolds gradually. This message does not demand forceful change or dramatic action. It calls for presence, consistency, and alignment in every moment. Beloved, as you continue from this space, life mirrors the coherence you carry within. Energy flows naturally, choices gain precision, and guidance is experienced as an inner current, quiet, steady, and perfectly aligned, moving with you moment by moment. Beloved, this message reaches you now to remind you that your inner guidance has matured into quiet authority. You are no longer dependent on external signs or loud confirmations. Alignment is now recognized and maintained from within. You may notice that your reactions to life's fluctuations are calmer. Challenges no longer provoke fear or chaos. They arrive as gentle signals, asking only for observation and measured response. You have learned to act from clarity rather than compulsion. Beloved, another message present now concerns the sanctity of your energy. Your attention, focus, and presence are sacred resources. Engage only with what resonates, what uplifts, and what aligns with your truth. What drains or distracts is no longer necessary in your life. You may feel a deepening connection to rhythm, your own natural pace of thought, feeling, and action. You are learning to move in concert with it rather than resist. This internal timing ensures that effort is applied appropriately, outcomes emerge naturally, and clarity remains intact. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes emotional sovereignty. You feel deeply, but without surrendering your center. Compassion is present, but your stability is preserved. Emotional integrity is not compromise. It is mastery of self and motion. You are also being guided to honor cycles of integration. Pausing, reflecting, and observing are as vital as action. Through this balance, insights settle, energy restores, and alignment strengthens. Do not underestimate the power of quiet presence. Beloved, another message here concerns discernment in communication and interaction. Words are fewer, but carry weight. Silence communicates authority. You no longer feel compelled to justify or defend your presence or choices. Truth expressed from coherence sustains itself. You may notice that small synchronicities now appear frequently. Repeated numbers, intuitive nudges, fleeting thoughts. These are confirmations of alignment, subtle yet unmistakable. Attend to them carefully. They are your compass guiding you gently forward. Beloved, this guidance also calls for integration into the ordinary, everyday moments. Presence in routine activities, mindful action, and conscious choices is where true mastery manifests. Alignment is not only revealed in extraordinary events, it is lived in the mundane. Remain attentive to what maintains your steadiness. Remain honest when adjustments are needed. Remain patient as clarity deepens with time. This message does not require dramatic change or urgent action. It encourages steady integration, mindful awareness, and deliberate presence. Beloved, as you continue from this place, your life mirrors the coherence you carry within. Energy flows naturally, decisions gain precision, and guidance becomes a seamless, quiet, and ever-present force moving with you, moment by moment, perfectly aligned and deeply assured.